Yo. You're in the mix.
World's finest, man.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball. JP the Ticket. Vegas Sports Break. Giving you that great.
Waking you back up early in the morning. It's your boss of the big board, JP the Ticket, and Vegas Scoreboard Express, live on KSHP AM 1400, 107.1 FM. Good morning, everybody. Glad to have you back with me here this morning. I got him on the line with me all the way up in Seattle, my main man, Troy West from TroyWins.com. And I got his cohort on the line with me as well, my main man, Alex Masarov, making it happen for you, getting you the prop bets this morning from TWProps.com. Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Good to be here, man.
Glad to have you here, man. I wasn't able to get my morning set up the way I normally do. Woke up to a lot of BS, but I'm telling you, we're going to make sure that we give you the grease today, putting cash in your pocket. College basketball regular season coming to an end, and we are going to tell you where the cash is at this morning. Main man Troy West from Troy Wins on Instagram and TroyWins.com, and TW Props, Alex Masarov, making it happen for you. You can follow him on all the social medias at AMass on sports. So, guys, we got a big lineup for the folks today for college basketball. Tell them a couple of quick lineups where they can find your picks. We'll take a short commercial break and get back into the grease. Go ahead, Troy.
Yeah, JP, TroyWins.com, at Troy West on Instagram. Put in your phone number. We've got a huge slate today. We'll get you absolutely free. Just put in your phone number.
That's right. Put the phone number in. And then my main man, the new guy on the line, Alex Masarov from TWProps.com. That's part of the Troy West money tree. All the businesses he has for your pick today. We're going to be breaking it down for you. Alex, break it down. Tell folks where they can find you. Make sure they get to hear you so they know who to listen to when we come back from break. Go ahead.
Head over to IG, go to twpropbets.com, give us our number, or shoot us a DM. You'll get today's NBA prop card completely free. We're on a 15-1 NBA prop run right now. We're so dialed in, it's not even fun.
That's right. Straight cash, straight grease. When I come back from this short commercial break, we're getting the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball. JP the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease. Skip your cable bill this month. Enjoy the action with JB and Fubo TV. Get 7 days free. 15% off your first month. No credit check. No deposit. No installation hassle. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. Sign up, download the app, and start watching games.
Enjoy being a subscriber after the first month. Easy cancellation anytime. Regional restrictions apply. Sign up at VegasScoreboardExpress.com.
You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network.
More fire, more heat.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball. JP the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Turn that shit off. Giving you that grease.
No time to waste. We stand on the pace. JP the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. I'm waking you back up live here, giving you grease. It's super windy here in Las Vegas. Hopefully we're blowing out all the crap and trying to put cash in your pocket. My main man Troy West from TroyWins.com. Alex Masarov from TWProps.com. Good morning, gentlemen. Glad to have you back with me. It's a big day in college basketball, waking you up early in the morning here, KSHP AM 1400, 107.1 FM right here in Las Vegas and around the world on jbtheticket.com, KSHP.com, and, of course, VSX Digital Sports Network. So glad you guys can come in with me this morning to start dropping some of this grease in college basketball. Guys, we got the last couple of weeks left in the regular season, and there are a lot of games today on the line that I have been looking at to make some money. But before we get into it, again, want to introduce my main man, Alex Masarov, new to the big board. You can follow him on the social medias at @AMassOnSports. Again, he's a part of the TroyWins.com crew. So I want to talk to you a little bit, Alex, about what your thoughts are on this college basketball season. We've seen a lot of parity. We've seen some of the teams, as I've always say on the show, that should be good aren't, and teams that we did not expect to be as good they are. Again, talking about those Purdue Boilermakers. Shout out to Purdue. Thank you guys so much for welcoming JB the Ticket to the family. Like I told you, that law degree is coming. Get ready to lose in those kangaroo courts, but I'm waking you up early in the morning here. So talk to me about how you feel this college basketball season is going. And the big theme that I had this year, Alex, was that a smaller school does have a chance to win the national championship. There are a lot of schools out there that are from some of the smaller conferences that are 20-plus win teams that can prove dangerous in this college postseason, as we saw last year with Florida Atlantic. But, Alex, go ahead. Your thoughts.
100%. This has been an absolutely incredible college basketball year for parity. If you don't like the standard, Duke's going to win it all, and Kansas and all this, well, this is the year for you. You got Houston, Purdue, UConn. I know UConn was obviously incredible last year. All cooking this year, all at the top. And if you just take a look at the rankings from 4 to 11, everybody's separated by a game. Everyone's separated by a game. The March Madness tournament is truly going to be madness this year. And a lot of people talking about the NIL, you got to pay all these guys to come over, got to have the best freshmen, 18, 19-year-olds. Look at the teams at the top. Look at the teams at the top with continuity, with coaching, small markets, small schools out in the Midwest, obviously Purdue and Indiana, but the same crew there for a couple of years, and they're absolutely dominant in showing that basketball is a team sport. It's not an NIL sport. It's not going to be dominated by this. Obviously, Duke, UNC, Kansas, they're there. They're having a good season. Marquette, obviously, as well, coming on strong. That's continuity. That's guys coming back. That's guys wanting to win a national championship for their school. It's an absolutely electric college basketball season, and the slate today is college basketball heaven if you're a college basketball junkie.
Talking about it with my main man, Alex Massaraf from TroyWins.com. Troy West, want to get you on the line here this morning. Good morning to you. Thank you so much. Reason I wasn't able to get you on the line, man, I was dialing the wrong phone number. I told you my morning routine was a little bit shaken up, but we want to talk to you today about your pick to win the national championship, the Purdue Boilermakers. Okay, this is a late night game, a little bit in the afternoon. Rotation number 765, the Michigan State Spartans are on the road down at Purdue. Rotation number 766. Now, here is the kicker here. Plus 10 for Michigan State. Michigan State has proven to be a dog that can bark, but towards this end of the regular season in the Big Ten, gearing up for the Big Ten tournament, Troy, do you think Purdue has what it takes to dominate today and put the cash in your pocket? Minus 10 for Purdue. They have to show the committee that they are deserving of a number 1 seed. Go ahead.
Yeah, JB, you're exactly right. But, like I told you guys last week, and we were right, JB, Michigan covered. They didn't win the game, but Purdue's getting everybody's best shot, right? Teams know this is the number 1, number 2 team in the country. They've been there all season long. So anytime Purdue gets a Tom Izzo type of basketball team like Michigan State, they're going to get their best shot. So a lot of points tonight, but Purdue's been outstanding at home. They've been blowing out teams at home. I like Purdue to get it done. This is a national TV game. Fox, tune into Fox, 5 p.m. Pacific. Purdue's going to win this game 85-65. I like Purdue in a big way tonight, JP.
He's telling you Purdue's going to get it done, and you can check this game out again on Fubo TV. Get over to FuboTV.com/JB. I'm giving you 15% off, and you'll be able to watch the game on all of your major sports networks. We got your local affiliates, so you don't miss out. Let's talk about the total a little bit today, guys. 145. Michigan State, again, a road dog that's barking at plus 450 on the money line. Troy thinks that the Purdue Boilermakers are going to roll. Throwing this one over to you, Alex. The total of 145 is in play. When you take a look at how Purdue scores the basketball, they can score, but when they are better than some teams, the turnovers tend to be an issue, and that's one of the things that we've seen a little bit out of Zach Edey this year. Not able to control the basketball, but he still is the most dynamic player in college basketball this year. Suspected to be the national player of the year, but when you talk about that total of 145, can each of these teams get to 73 points? Go ahead.
I definitely think Purdue can. I think Purdue will get to the 73. It's more on the Michigan State side. They're a dog that's barking, like you like to mention. They're going to be scrappy. They're going to be physical. They're not going to want to see Zach Edey have these easy kind of layups right in front of the basket, his easy dunks as well. I see a lot of fouling going on this game. I see a scrappy, not necessarily tough game on the scoreboard, but tough physically on these guys. And I'm kind of leaning the under in this one, but the line is so sharp on this game.
Right, the line is very sharp in this one. You're talking about an under. Looks like we're going to have to make some adjustments. 145.5. They've added a hook now on the live betting, talking about Michigan State 17-11, 3-5 on the road. They haven't been the best road dog team, if you will. But we've seen a lot of teams with these unblemished home records go down. You got Purdue coming in again today. My Boilermakers 25-3, 14-0 at home, 8-6 against the spread at home, 16-11 overall. So when you talk about the dog barking, possibly from a spread perspective, is this one of those games where you got to take Purdue as maybe an anchor on the money line, which will probably kill all your value if you're doing one of those $5 parlays that Troy West hates so much? But from that perspective, 10.5. I've seen Purdue getting priced up a little bit, 145.5. What's the best way to play this game? I'll throw this one at you, Alex, and then again, Troy, you like Purdue here in the points. Want to pose this at you. Maybe buy down Purdue to maybe say a -6 to give yourself a little bit more value. It's still going to be expensive on the money line if you like Purdue, but going to that total, Troy, what do you think on that side? Go ahead.
Yeah, it looks like an over to me, JB. Like I said, I think that place is going to be rocking tonight. Michigan State, known for their defense, though. Tom Izzo's a fantastic defensive coach. That's what scares me, but I think the place is going to be rocking. Purdue puts up a lot of points at home. I'd lean on the over.
He likes the over in this game. Moving right along to another game that we had here on the line, talking about rotation number 6-1-3. This is an early game. The Kansas Jayhawks have proven to be one of the stronger teams in the NCAA. Troy or Alex, I hear you got the dogs barking back there. Let me add one of my dogs barking on there for you as well. Want to talk about this game because Kansas at number 7, Baylor at number 15. That's right. Tell your dog the dog is barking in this one. I like Kansas.
Barking, JB?
I like Kansas. That's right.
The dog.
Alex knows. He hears JB on the line. He's like, hey, that's the dog whisperer. You know what time it is. Kansas, number 7, rotation number 6-1-3, plus 5.5 on the road today at a Baylor team that is surging. -5.5 at home for Baylor. Going back to the Big 12, we expect to see 5 or 6 teams in the Big 12 going to the March Madness field of 64, 7,500, or however many teams they want to bring in. Total in this one also is 145 and a hook. It looks like the calculators are out in the sports betting room at the sports book. But when you talk about the number 7 and the number 15 team in the nation, same conference, gearing up for their conference tournament, how can you not go with the dog Kansas here, who Bill Self has shown to keep his team super resilient and not let these guys fall by the wayside? I'll throw this one at you, Troy West. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a lot of points. It's a head scratcher, JB. I mean, obviously Kansas, the higher ranked team. I think Kansas is the better coach team. I think they're the better team overall. But you got to ask yourself, why are they getting 5.5? Tough place to play. Kansas has not been great on the road this year, JB. They've had several losses on the road and several where they've actually been blown out on the road. But I'm going to buy this thing up to 6.5, and I'm going to take Kansas. I do think it's a dog fight, so I'll take 6.5 points on this one, JB.
I like it. Bringing it up to 6.5. Let's chop up the sportsbook line. Throwing this one back over to you, Alex. When you look at what the Baylor Bears have been able to do in their last 3 games, they took Houston to the wire, ended up losing in overtime, and then beating TCU 62-54 back on the 26th. So they've had some rest. They're making their push to try to get a top 5 seed in the NCAA tournament. But as Troy said, 5.5 points is a lot, and this one is going to be a tight one. Do you want to also take the dog on this side with Kansas? Bill Self, when it comes to coaching, I like betting coaching in this situation, but you also have to recognize that, as he said before, Kansas is 3-5 against the spread on the road and 3-6 straight up. So again, looking at it from the perspective of maybe Kansas losing this game, if you can win as a sports bettor, taking them in the points, like Troy said, buying them up maybe a point, maybe 2 points to give yourself a cushion. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm absolutely with Troy on this one. I think you got to buy a point or 2 on this due to the numbers that you see Kansas on the road with. But yet again, Baylor and these teams know each other. This isn't just one of those road games where Kansas is coming in, not sure who they're playing, not sure their style. They know Baylor. They know how they play. They know the ways to beat them. They're the better coach team. I like them on the points, but I also would sprinkle a little bit on the money line. I think they get the job done at home. I think the road woes are scaring a little bit too many people here, but I'm with Troy. You got to buy the points, play it safe, make most of your money on the points. But if you got some extra cash lying around, sprinkle on that money line if you're watching the game today.
Put a little bit on the money line again. JB, the Ticket Vegas Scoreboard Express, my main man, Troy West. from TroyWins.com. He's brought one of his cohorts who's bringing the grease with you, Alex Massareff. Follow him on the social medias at AMass on Sports. He's an analyst over at TWProps.com. Get over to TWProps.com to put some cash in your pocket today on the prop bets. We'll talk a little bit about that. Troy West from TroyWins.com. Again, Troy, thank you so much for coming on the phone with us. You've got to get over to Instagram and follow him at It's Troy West. Also, you can follow me on those social medias at JB The Ticket. So when I get back from the short commercial break, jumping into some more college basketball grease. So you want to grab your bankroll. Get ready to hit the line and beat the window. Again, check out our friends over at BetUS. Use offer code VSX125 for an initial 125% bonus on your deposit to keep that cash in your pocket. Any quick shout-outs before we go to commercial break? Alex, I'll let you go first since it's your first day on the show. Go ahead.
14-1 NBA props, man. There's more value on the props than there are in the games of the NBA. Get to TWPropBets.com. We're on a 14-1 NBA props run right now. We got Lakers versus Nuggets tonight. Huge game.
Troy from TroyWins.com at It's Troy West. Any quick shout-outs? And I'll take this short commercial break. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, shout out to you, JB. You're rocking this thing each and every weekend. We appreciate you having us on and giving Vegas the grease, man.
That's right. Number one sports betting show in America on Good Pod. Shout out to my friends and everybody out there listening, keeping us number one. We were even bigger than the Shaq podcast this weekend. It's documented. Got love for you, Shaq, but I got to drop the grease, and you know you can't deal with it. So when I get back from this short commercial break, cash in your pocket. I don't care if my morning was a little bit shaky. I'm getting the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball. JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
Basketball season is heating up, so stay in the game with Fubo TV. Get the NBA, NCAA, FIBA, and more. Get 7 days free at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV.
It's time to wake up and win the weekend.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball. JB the Ticket. Giving you that grease.
Join me every Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time for the live action on Vegas Scoreboard Express on KSHP 107.1 FM and AM 1400. Dive into the game day with my in-depth analysis, expert predictions, and winning plays from the sharpest minds in sports betting. It's more than just placing bets. It's about securing wins. Head over to jbtheticket.com and be sure to tune in to KSHP this weekend from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time to ride the winning wave with VSX. Tune in and get your money back from the sports book. All money, all sports, no bull. Missed the live show? Subscribe to Vegas Scoreboard Express on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, and wherever you enjoy your favorite podcast and radio listening.
You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network.
More fire, more heat. You're listening to the boss of the big ball. JB the Ticket. Giving you that grease. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Always spitting that explosive fire.
Back at you live, JB the Ticket in the Vegas Scoreboard Express, the boss of the big board. I'm your host, waking you up each and every Saturday and Sunday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. is what I used to do, but now we're breaking you back off 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. I told you I had a little bit of a slow morning. I needed some coffee, and I got a special guest on the line with me, my main man, John Ryan, PredictiveSportsBettingPlaybook.com. John, how you doing?
I'm doing great, JB. Thanks for having me on. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Sounds like you got some music in the background.
nothing that I know of. It's not me playing, that's for sure.
I have no idea what that is. We've been having some wild stuff. I got my main man Troy West from TroyWins.com on the phone. Troy, you there?
I'm here, JB. I'm here, brother.
All right, and Alex from TWProps.com. Good morning, Alex. Are you there? Is that you with the music in the background? Alex. Oh, my goodness. All right, John and Troy, good morning. Are you back on the line with me? Go ahead.
I am. I'm here.
All right. Yeah, Alex, don't know what happened to you, man. You put us on hold, had some weird music going on in the background. But we're glad that you were on the big board today. Again, Troy, inviting you on. Thank you so much. Let's get back into this college basketball, man. It's been an eventful day. It's been a wild morning. The wind is blowing out here. Things are going haywire. If you're a religious person, reach out to God like, why are you playing with JB this morning? He's trying to give us grease and put cash in our pocket.
That grease.
And that's what we're doing today here on Vegas Scoreboard Express. So on the half hour, guys, let's jump back into it. College basketball, as I said before, is barking. We've got a lot of dogs on the line today, some big spreads. Want to throw this one out there to you. Again, John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook, and RotoWire.com. Thank you so much for being on the line with us this morning. So let's talk about this one here. Rotation number 649, the Oklahoma State Cowboys are going out to Texas. Rotation number 650. Texas has been somewhat disappointing in the big games that they've had on the slate this season. And while they're still trying to keep their tournament season alive, if you will, minus 9.5 at home, I don't think there's any way they can get that done. They haven't been beating teams 18-10, 12-4 at home, 1-7 on the road, though, for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Again, plus 9.5. Total is 143.5. Almost 45% of the money is on the Cowboys today to cover the spread. And John, I'll throw this one over at you. When you look at the Texas Longhorns, 18-10, they haven't beaten teams that we expected them to beat. Okay, they've only beaten Iowa State. Well, excuse me, they lost to Iowa State. They beat West Virginia. Then they come back and lose to Houston. Then they beat Kansas State. Then they lose to Kansas. Then they beat Texas Tech. It's a flip-flop. Okay? And when you talk about against the spread in their last four, they are only 1-3. So the dog, in my opinion, is barking here with Oklahoma State. Go ahead, John.
Well, I hate to start off with you, JB, but I'm against you, but I do think Texas gets this done. And as you know, I like live in-game betting, so anything south of 6.5 points during the first half is probably a pretty good place to add some pizza money. But I do think that Texas is a vastly underrated team based on what you said. Coming into their Big 12 Conference Championship tournament, it's going to be interesting to see how deep they can get. I think they will be in the NCAA dance unless they fall on their face today and then get eliminated in the first game of the tournament. But they are a team that, if they get their act together, could really make some waves and have some pretty big upsets come tournament time. And Oklahoma State doesn't have anything to play for here. Texas has everything to play for. This last part of the season, Oklahoma State has lost the last two, and they're giving up a ton in shooting percent. So the defense is really falling apart. They allowed 50% at Cincinnati, which is not all that good of a team. They allowed 51% shooting at Oklahoma. They allowed back at Kansas the first time they played. They allowed 58%. So they've allowed 50% or more shooting in the majority of their game coming down the stretch here. And I think Texas will exploit that and get the job done.
He's liking the Texas Longhorns. Throwing this one over to you, Troy West from TroyWins.com. Troy, you still there?
Here, brother.
All right, good. You got to let Alex know the phone technical difficulties. We're going to run a few moves on him, but we got nothing but love for you. You and your guys over at TW Props. Let's talk about this Texas game. You have been big on Texas. You told me, JB, keep them on your board. Minus 10 today. I don't think they can cover that spread, and the reason why is, again, they flip-flop on the wins. And if you got a team that's flip-flopping on the wins, that lets me know that it may be hard for them to get the ball in the basket. If you look at the Texas Longhorns, their losses, these guys are scoring in the 50s and 60s. And they can't win unless they score 80-plus. 70 plus, but they just haven't been able to do it. And I don't know where the offense is going to come from. And when I talk about the defensive side of the ball, it hasn't been that great. Again, you're telling me that you got a team coming in here in the Oklahoma State Cowboys who give up a high shooting percentage, but you've also got a team coming in the Texas Longhorns who don't have that great of a shooting percentage. So it should be a rebound fest, and we may be looking at an under here. The total in this game, I've been looking at it all morning. It's been very, very live. The total is 146. Troy West, your thoughts. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm with you, JB. Oklahoma State's a good basketball team. Their record doesn't reflect the way they've been playing this year. They've got some big wins in the quad one. I'm going with Oklahoma State. I think this is a close basketball game. I don't think Oklahoma State wins the game, but I think you're looking at like a 67-62 type of basketball game. I'll take 10 points all day on this one.
Like in the 10 points, when you go to the total, Troy, where do you think this one is going to go? 146. We know that Texas and Oklahoma State both have trouble scoring the basketball. Do you take a slight under here and go to sleep? Go ahead.
Yeah, JB, I'm going under as well. These two teams, hard-nosed basketball, good defenses. I'm leaning under as well on it.
Liking the under in this game, telling you that that's where the cash is going to be. Let's move into another game that we've got on the line today. Rotation number 691, the NC State Wolfpack needing a big win at Carolina today. Rotation number 692, the UNC Tar Heels, ranked number 9 in the nation. One of the few representatives for the ACC in the top 25. Let's throw this one over to you, John Ryan. The Wolfpack are trying to make themselves NIT eligible. I don't think they're going to be good enough to make it to the tournament unless they can win the ACC tournament, which is going to be a tall order. But when you take a look at the North Carolina Tar Heels, haven't been able to crack that top 5 over the last couple of weeks of the season. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether they're not giving them the credit that I think they deserve. They're a much better team than Duke, in my opinion. Duke is on the line today as well. But North Carolina isn't getting a lot of respect at 21-6 in an ACC that has been competitive. It's not as weak as it has been in a few past seasons. So when you look at the Carolina Tar Heels today, it's expected to win by 11. Do you think that the NC State Wolfpack can come in and make this an old Tobacco Road battle to try to keep some cash in your pocket with maybe getting that spread on the dog line? Go ahead.
I don't see it happening, JB, because the biggest loss that kind of ended their season hopes for the tournament was when they lost at home to Syracuse. And Syracuse is a team on my radar just for what that is worth. They are on the road today at Louisville, and I think they're going to make some noise in that tournament and get into the NCAA dance. But in this game, I just think North Carolina has way too much going on here. They can ill afford to be showing up, flat. So close to the tournament, and knowing that they're playing for a number 1 seed literally every single game now down the stretch. Also, NC State, much like the other game we just talked about, the defense has completely fallen off the planet. They allowed 60% shooting at Florida State. Florida State scored 90 in that game. They allowed 52% in that loss to Syracuse at home. So what is North Carolina going to do today, with that team playing as well as they are at both ends of the court? They allowed 28% shooting when they played at Virginia. Now, granted, Virginia has a great defense of their own, and that was a very low-scoring game. But nevertheless, I don't see how in the world NC State will muster up the energy to overtake UNC on the road. I just think the point spread at double digits is worth it.
Yep, NC State, man, I'm looking at it right now, 11 points. Troy, throwing this one over at you. Carolina, they haven't been a dominant team all season. They're getting their wins by committee. Okay, we haven't seen or heard about any one-and-dones on the Tar Heels roster. Do you honestly think that the Tar Heels are going to be able to come in today and get an 11-point win, which would be needed to get them that number 1 seed, or are they just going to focus on getting the win and preparing for the Atlantic Coast Conference? And if that may be the case, could you win some money with that dog, the Wolfpack, barking at plus 10.5? Go ahead.
Well, obviously a rival game here as well. Two high-scoring teams. I'm definitely leaning on the over. I think this is going to be a shootout. But yes, I'll go with the dog again. Way too many points here, JB. If this game was played in NC State, they might even be favored by a point or two, and you're going to give them 10 on the road, 11 on the road. Give me NC State. Give me the Wolfpack. They cover the spread. It's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be an 85-80 type of basketball game.
I think so as well. The ACC, as we know, getting into the latter part of the regular season, very, very tough. Moving along to another game coming back out west. Troy West from TroyWins.com. Thank you so much for coming on the big board today. Rotation number 651, the Oregon Ducks. Plus 13, another big dog on the road at Arizona. Rotation number 652, the Arizona Cardinals. Well, not the Cardinals. I told you, I had a rough morning. No coffee. No meds, but we're here giving you grease. Arizona Wildcats. These guys are at home, and they've got a 14-1 record at home, but the Oregon Ducks, no slouch here, at 6-4, 19-9. Oregon should be dancing. You got two teams that are going to be dancing based on the regular season schedule. And again, with the Pac-12 breaking up, I don't even know if they're going to have a Pac-12 tournament. Maybe. Troy, you would know more about this, and I'm going to throw this one at you. You said that Arizona is a very dangerous team, and when you recognize it from the perspective of the sports betting, looking at where the lines are going and looking at how bettors are moving their money around, Arizona is probably one of the more dangerous teams at number 6 in the nation, 21-6. They lost a few spots. Tennessee took their spot at number 4. I think Arizona is a very tough team, but again, going back to the late season matchups, tight spreads, this one is huge. 14 points, 13.5. Troy, where do you see this one going? Is Oregon going to go down to Arizona and get obliterated? Because the public doesn't think so. 56% of the money. And then John Ryan, I'll throw this one at you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Troy.
Yeah, I'm leaning Oregon on this one, JB. This Oregon team, like you said, they're fighting for their tournament life. I don't think they're going to win this game, but that is a lot of points. Arizona does score a lot of points at home, led by Caleb Love, the North Carolina point guard transfer. He's been outstanding all season long, but this is a lot of points. Oregon's fighting for their tournament lives. I think they keep this close. It's going to be a shootout, another shootout, JB. But I like this game to be like an 87-80 type game. I think Arizona wins, but I'll grab the points with the Ducks.
Yep, I'm liking the over here, looking at the point production from the Arizona Wildcats. Several games, and I mean several games, 85-plus points, okay? So that should be able to get you some sort of comfortability if you like Arizona at home, but the dog on the spread is barking. John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook, and RotoWire.com writer and contributor. Let's throw this one over at you. The Arizona Wildcats at home today, expected to win by 7 layups. Can they get it done and show their dominance as a member of the top 10 in the top 25? Go ahead.
Well, I'm with Mr. West on this one for sure, and I'll tell you why. We always talk about progression in college sports and the NFL, but what is it really? College basketball, I think, if the team shoots over 50% in a game, generally speaking, that's pretty darn good, right?
Yes.
If they allow under 40% shooting, that defensive effort is certainly above average. So we have both of these situations occurring with Arizona, who shot 54% and allowed 35% in their 85-67 win over Arizona State. The last time that Arizona did this was on February 17th. They shot 57% from the field, allowed 36% defensive percentage, in a 105-60 win at home against Arizona State. The following game, they lost outright as a 13-point favorite to Washington State, 77-74, in a game where they shot 45% and allowed 43%. One game before that, JB, they shot 51%, allowed 37% to California in a 91-65 win. Following game, they're 18-point favorites and had to fight off Stanford 82-71. Failing to cover the spread, they shot 48% and allowed 40% from the field. So I think you're going to have another repeat performance here with Arizona. Struggling, they may win the game, but it's going to be by single digits in my humble opinion.
He's liking the dog on the line today, guys. So much grease, so much money. Again, Troy West from TroyWins.com. Thank you so much for being on the line. Keep it locked here with me. We're guys going to be coming back after this short commercial break, getting through it today. When we get back on the line, we're going to be talking a few of the smaller schools here. St. Mary's at Gonzaga. Troy, we know you're going to have some opinions on that. But John Ryan, thank you so much for coming on. You just got on in the half hour. Tell the folks out there listening where they can find your best plays. Go ahead.
The best place to go is the predictiveplaybook.com. It's predictiveplaybook.com. Not the, but it is predictiveplaybook.com. You can get a lot of free information, a lot of my analytical tools that I use for the handicapping that has put me in fourth place among 100 college basketball cappers this season, which I'm very proud of. And JB, I have a monster 10-unit game of the month going tonight in college basketball. So give me a look over at Predictive Playbook. Send me an email at johnryansports@gmail.com and visit me at the X at John Ryan Sports, the number 1.
Thank you so much, John. John Ryan Sports 1 on the X. I'm going to take a short commercial break, and when I come back, it's straight grease. Waking up early in the morning. Make sure you get your program right. Get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express, giving you that grease.
Basketball season is heating up, so stay in the game with Fubo TV. Get the NBA, NCAA, FIBA, and more. Get 7 days free at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV.
As a 3-time international award-winning restaurant, Joe's New York Pizza uses only the freshest and best available ingredients. From giant slices of hand-tossed pie to calzone, strombolis, fingers, and wings, Joe's serves all your favorites. Stop in for a slice at one of their 2 Las Vegas locations at Paradise and Harmon or South Las Vegas Boulevard, or you can check out their menu at joesnewyorkpizzalv.com.
In times of war and peace, the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. We salute those who have given their lives for our country. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten.
This salute is courtesy of Mac and Grill Cheese Factory, serving our area with quality and pride. For a fantastic meal, stop by 1331 West Warm Springs Road in Henderson or call them at 725-214-4140. That's 725-214-4140. Mac and Grill Cheese Factory, on the air reminding everyone that we live in the land of the free thanks to our brave.
More fire, more heat. You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket, giving you that grease. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Always spitting that explosive fire.
Back on the line with you, JB the Ticket and Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you the picks and the grease. Want to give a shout out to my main man, Ron, Third Down Best Bets, and Ronnie B, Las Vegas Chief Handicapper for JBTheTicket.com. They are on sabbatical listening, making it happen. You see, as soon as I mention them, it's nothing but grease, fish grease, straight grease, nothing but the grease, waking you back up here on KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM. Got my main man, Troy West from TroyWins.com. Want to thank his contributor for stopping by, Alex Massaroff from A-Mass Sports and TWProps.com. And, of course, my main man, John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook, on the line with us, finishing out this college basketball Saturday. Want to talk about this game here, rotation number. Oh, I don't even have the rotation number because the books are getting funny with it. It doesn't matter. Number 23 in the nation, the Gonzaga Bulldogs, the Gonzaga Pups, whatever you want to call them, 23-6. They're on the line today as a dog on the road at St. Mary's. Very, very tough team. The Gales, 24-6, 14-3 at home. I'll throw this one at you, Troy West, because you are in the Pacific Northwest. Gonzaga finally getting back into the top 25. We knew that the committee would find the names that they know and start plugging them in, because there's parity across the board. A lot of teams have 20 wins, but Gonzaga is on the line today the number 23 team in the nation. Do you think that they have a chance to win in that dog position? I've been looking at this team all season. I haven't seen a dominant player. I haven't seen an NBA caliber player, but I have been seeing the man on the sidelines giving out shout out to Coach Mark Few, one of the few left, if you will, in college basketball from the great era. So, Troy, do you think that the dog is barking today? They don't give Gonzaga very much credit on their road record at 7-2. And today at plus 2.5, you might as well go money line because that'll be able to put more cash in your pocket. Go ahead, Troy.
Yeah, I'm taking St. Mary's in this one. You know, Gonzaga just played a tough game against San Francisco on the road. They looked really good in that game. They won that game and covered no problem. This is a team that does not match up well with St. Mary's. St. Mary's actually went into the kennel earlier this year and took down Gonzaga on the road by 2. They're at home tonight. The place is going to be absolutely rocking. That's a really tough gym to play in. I like St. Mary's in a low-scoring game, 65-60. But give me St. Mary's. They get the job done, and they cover the spread.
He's telling you St. Mary's is going to get it done. Liking the short chalk. John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook. When you see Gonzaga play a team like San Francisco, who has been knocking at the top 25 door all year, haven't been able to quite crack in. It's been a tough West Coast conference, and we know that Gonzaga has been here before late in the season. Do they try to get the win on the road today to quiet all the doubters? Go ahead, John.
Well, I think they're going to have trouble here. As he said, the stadium, the arena is very tough to play in. And after all, let's think about the domination Gonzaga has had, which seems like it was back all the way into the Reagan administration, for goodness sake. And I think the teams in the West Coast Conference are sick and tired of Gonzaga just dominating them year after year after year. And the gap obviously has been tightened and evened. And St. Mary's, as a university, as a college, would like nothing more than to destroy these guys twice and get the season sweep. So St. Mary's defense, number 3 in the country, allowing 59 points per game. Going up against a very good offense, 84.8. But again, the Gonzaga defense is allowing 70. So I think St. Mary's will be able to score enough. And I wouldn't be surprised to see this game play under by quite a bit.
Right, the rotation number on this one, I finally was able to dig it up for you people. Rotation number 801. The Gonzaga Bulldogs plus 2.5 on the road today, plus 120 on the money line. Total 141.5. Going back to you, Troy West. You've been doing great on the totals all season on VSX. Thank you. St. Mary's is a team that is known to put some points on the board. Just taking a look at some of their last games here, averaging a minimum of 70 points a game. How does Gonzaga get up today to bring their best A game? They got to give a team their best shot. Normally, it's not a position that they're used to being in at this point in the season, but I know you like St. Mary's on the money line. Let's talk about the total here. Do both of these teams get into the shootout, or do we happen to see St. Mary's come in, clamp down the defense, and cause a ton of trouble on the offensive side for Gonzaga? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm leaning under, JB. I think, the last time these two teams played, I believe it was 63-61. Obviously, that goes under this line here today. Tough gym to shoot out. 141 points is a lot of points for this type of matchup. I don't see both teams getting to 70. I think it's more of a mid-60s type of basketball game. I've got to go under here, and that's an official play for me. But like I said, I like St. Mary's. They're at home. Place is a tough gym to shoot. It's a national TV game. Defense intensity will be high. I like St. Mary's to get the job done. Lower scoring game like it was at the Kennel. I think it's a lower scoring game. 64-62 was the last time these two played. That's way under this total. Give it to me again. I like the under again.
He likes the under in this game. Troy West telling you he likes St. Mary's and the under. This is going to be a tight West Coast matchup. 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern time for all you bettors out there on the East Coast losing money. Waking up too late, not listening to JP the Ticket and Vegas Scoreboard Express. We're telling you where the cash is at. Got about 10 minutes left, guys. We're going to go around the big board. Let's talk about some of the other games that I've seen here. My main man, Ronnie B., chief handicapper for JPTheTicket.com. He just texted me right now and said, JB, you got to talk about it. And I will. This Rhode Island game, okay, going back to the Atlantic 10. You got St. Louis on the road today at 10-18. They're not going to be doing much dancing, but they have a very, very tight spread today. URI also not dancing, going about the money. These are two turds in the bucket. See which one goes down first. Okay. But the reality is we're talking about trying to get some money here. So the Billikens our 10-18 losing record. URI losing record at 11-18. I know. Come on, Ronnie B. Come on now. Must have gave me this pick when you were doing your morning constitution. Total is 160 here. Either one of you guys, if you got to play on it. Ronnie B likes Rhode Island here at home today. Troy West, I'll throw this one at you. I know you get props and bets for people that call in on specific games. When you look at this, two snoozers today in the Atlantic 10, two teams that aren't going to go absolutely nowhere. Any thoughts on it? Total, side, what have you? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just, this one I'm leaning under as well, JB. You just not a lot of offense, like you said, probably a snooze fest. High defensive intensity on both these teams. I like the under.
He liking the under on that one. Total is 160 and the hook. John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook. Where do you see this one going out in the Atlantic 10? Two bottom feeders. We're hoping to see which one stays afloat and which one goes down first. Go ahead.
Let's say we have two bottom feeders like this, and the home team is only favored by a scant amount. It does put my attention on the road team. Rhode Island is 2-13 against the spread when playing against a team with a losing record after the 15th game of each of the last three seasons. They are also 1-8 against the spread when facing a team that attempts 21 or more three-point shots per game after the 15th game of this season. They are also 3-12 against the spread. I'm sorry, I just read that one. Rhode Island is 2-10 against the spread in home games when facing solid ball handling teams that are committing 14 or fewer turnovers per game in the second half of the last two seasons. And I could go on and on here, but it doesn't seem like Rhode Island having zero returners from last year. That is a factor too for head coach Archie Miller. I don't see them being able to overcome what St. Louis will bring to this game. I think St. Louis wins it.
Well, he likes the Billikens. Dog is barking on the road. Guys, we're going to take a short commercial break and come back and give our best picks of the day. Again, you've been rocking with the boss of the big board, JB the Ticket, in Vegas Scoreboard Express, waking you up early every Saturday and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Pacific Daylight Time is on the way. You're going to keep it locked here. Go to my website, jbtheticket.com, VSX Digital Sports Network.com if you're looking for some advertising. We're opening up the lines for you here. Got March Madness coming. You definitely want to get on our books and board. iHeartRadio, certified, sponsorified host here in Las Vegas, right on KSHP AM 1400. Guys, so keep it locked. John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook. Troy West from TroyWins.com. And want to give a shout out and thank you to his contributor, Alex Masaroff. Also want to give a birthday shout out to Granny out in Arizona. Thank you so much for tuning into the show today. Rocking with you. You're getting up in age, but you're still rocking and rolling. So sorry I couldn't be there, but I do the best I can. And who else is going to give you a happy birthday shout out live on the air in Las Vegas? So again, when I get back from this short commercial break, straight grease, straight cash. Let's get it.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express, giving you that grease.
Basketball season is heating up, so stay in the game with Fubo TV. Get the NBA, NCAA, FIBA, and more. Get 7 days free at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV. You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network.
JB the Ticket back at you live here, KSHP AM 1400, 107.1 FM. We're going to go around the big board, guys. College basketball Saturday. Thank you so much to my contributors, John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook, Troy West from TroyWins.com, and Alex Masaroff from TWProps.com. You can follow Alex over on the social media at AMAS on Sports, Troy at It's Troy West, and John Ryan at John Ryan Sports 1. So your best plays of the day, guys. We'll go around the big board. I'll start with you, Troy West.
Jay, favorite play of the day, I'm going with Marquette. I'm buying this thing up to 6.5. They're at Creighton. This is a dogfight of a basketball game. Shaka Smart and Marquette will be ready to play. Give me the points with Marquette. That's my favorite play of the day.
He likes Marquette out in the Big East, saying the dog is barking on the road at the Creighton Blue Jays, 22-6 versus 20-8. I like that play. John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook. What is your best play of the day? Go ahead.
My best play today is in the Big Ten. It's with Penn State getting 7.5. I think if you're a little bit patient ahead of this 3:15 Eastern Standard Time tip-off, you might be able to get as high as even 8.5. Penn State's in a good situation because they lost 5 of the last 6 games, and they bounced back pretty strong under their current head coach. And also, from my predictive models, we learned that Penn State is 35-7, straight up 29-7-2 ACS, good for 81% winning bets over the past 5 seasons when they score 75 or more points and have the same or fewer turnovers. That's what my model is projecting they do today. I like Penn State quite a bit.
Liking Penn State as a dog on the road, +6 this barking. Again, shout out to my main man, Ronnie B., Las Vegas chief handicapper for JBTheTicket.com. He likes St. Louis, giving up 70 points, 15 games, 10 of those games they've given up 80. I'm telling you, it's 2 turds in a bucket, people. If you want to jump on it, take Rhode Island, like he said. And my best play of the day, I like Kansas, man. Kansas has been playing some good basketball. I'm buying them up to 10. They shouldn't be able to let me down. So again, Thays is it. It's a wrap. I got through it. It was a rough morning. But we put cash in your pocket. Again, Troy, final shout-outs, about 30 seconds, then we'll get out of here for the day. And then John Ryan, final shout-outs, we'll get out of here. Go ahead.
Yeah, JB, get to our website, TroyWins.com. We're offering out prize picks now as a part of your package. Also, prop bets. A lot of money to be made on the prop bet side as well, JB. Come take a look. It's TroyWins.com. We're on a great run right now, and we got 3 max plays on the card. You get it absolutely free. All you got to do is go to the site, put in your phone number, and we'll get you out. Get you those games.
Perfect. John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook, about 30 seconds, and then we're going to get out of here. Go ahead, brother.
Thanks for having me on, JB. And we have a pretty big card today. 6 college basketball plays, 2 NBA and NHL. And seeing the card very well, we have a 10-unit max bet game of the month in college basketball that goes after 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So send me a message at John Ryan Sports. At John Ryan Sports 1 on the X, and we'll make sure you get on board.
That's right, and that's a wrap, guys. Giving you the grease, waking you up early in the morning. We'll be back tomorrow, Sunday, with Basketball Sunday. That's right, all basketball. Might even sprinkle a little bit of baseball. My main man, Scotty Beam him up Webb. Want to give a shout-out to Jeff Dawson, Esports Investors, Linwood, Hard Rock, Hamilton, Defender of the Youth, and everybody out there in Las Vegas and around the world listening. JB the Ticket has got to get out of here, get the money started. Let's get it.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Cat.